All right, aloha. Thank you everyone so much for joining into this, watching another broadcast of live tarot readings with Wolf here on YouTube. And as always, I am your fellow co-host, Captain in Arms, Captain within the shift, Skull Babylon, aka Wolf Shield, Mystic Spider-Man, joining you for another opportunity for us to be able to share in some inspiration. And so, give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to begin the broadcast on Instagram. All right, aloha to everybody tuned into this. My name is Wolf, and we are just getting ready to do some more live tarot readings with Wolf. And you can tune in on YouTube if you're watching this in the future by clicking the link in my bio. So if you're literally just jumping into this right now, go ahead and click my bio link to be able to tune in on YouTube, and we're going to get right into the first reading as soon as possible. And so thank you again, everyone, for joining into this. So again, I'm just going to keep repeating that. For those of you who are tuning in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to join in on YouTube. And with that said, I am going to share this broadcast. Yo, Jesse, thanks for joining in, dude. Welcome. All right. Okay, so 2 seconds here. I'm just going to, if you're tuning into this on Facebook, if you're tuning into this on YouTube, please share this broadcast with your friends. I'm about to start a watch party for this in the 1111 movement group. And once we do that, that will invite a bunch of people in, and then we'll get right into our first reading. So for those of you, first of all, thanks for joining in. If you're tuning in on Instagram, if you are tuning in on Instagram and you're sticking around, click the link in my bio to watch on YouTube. That way, so you can open it up in the YouTube app and you can join in the chat there, and you get like the primary camera. If you're watching this on Instagram, that's like the secondary. So just to be clear, click the link in my bio on Instagram to be able to join in on YouTube. All right, starting the broadcast over on the 1111 movement group. Again, if you're tuned into this on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, like this video and begin sharing it with your friends. All right, here we go. And starting this broadcast. Primary camera. If you're watching this on Instagram. All right, so starting the broadcast over on the 1111 movement group. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. Drop an 1111. Make sure if the audio is sounding okay. If it sounds like it's like crackling or anything like that, let me know, because that is something that can be easily resolved. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in, and we're gonna get started in the next couple moments as soon as a couple more people join in, and we'll explain a little bit more about what part of the intention is behind what it is that we are creating here together as a team. So for those of you, if you are here for the very first time, drop a what do I usually say? Drop a 222 in the comments if this is your very first time tuning in for some live tarot readings with Wolf. We do this quite on the regular, and we're going to be doing a lot more of it over the next week, the next month, being able to help provide some awesome value for the community, and being able to help invite people to support on Patreon to be able to help assist with what it is that we're creating. And we're also building the team. We are building the team of shifters, of light guardians, of people who are super passionate about helping change the world. So again, if you're tuned into this on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to jump over on YouTube. You don't have to, but it's highly encouraged. And I'll explain this real quick. So again, if it's your first time here, drop a 222 in the comments. Let me know if it's your first time here. And I'm going to give you some basic instructions of how we do the readings here, and what you can expect, and how you too can also have a personal reading live on air. So I'm just making sure that we got things all set up from my end here in Master Control. So I just want to give a quick shout out to those of you who are new. Shout out to Jimmy, David, Nelson, Susan, Carla, Britt, John, Iris, Tika, and anybody else tuned in on Instagram as well. Thank you so much. All right, so here's your basic instructions. So what we do is we provide the first reading that we do, we choose someone right out of the chat using kind of a synchronistic method. And then the readings after that, we do for people by inviting them to be able to sign up to the Patreon. And Patreon, if you're not entirely familiar with it, is a website where people can support artists that they enjoy and be able to get rewards in return. So for those of you who may be meeting me for the first time, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator and a real-world superhero, helping build a team of real-world superheroes to be able to help assist and accelerate the shift in consciousness. I'm the director for a project known as Paradigm Shift Central, and you can check out the info for what I do at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. That's the link that you can see on screen for those of you not watching on Instagram. And again, you can click the link for my Patreon in the info for this video. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, check out my Patreon now. And when you sign up for that, that will be able to get you the next reading on air. But we're going to do the first reading based on whoever's here, and here are the instructions for the first reading. So if this is your first time tuning in, thank you. And this is like an awesome way to be able to get to know each other, and we're building the team here. Here are your basic instructions. If you would like to be eligible for a reading out of the chat, and let me just preface this, when we do these readings, these aren't like, I don't do these as like fortune telling or like psychic readings. What we do is we set forth the intention to the universe to show us what we need to see. And then working with the cards, that serves as a conduit for a message to be able to come through. And then I assist with this process. And this message isn't just for like one individual person. It can be, but it's also for the collective. It's also for the team. So it's a really, really cool, unique way that we do it. And again, for those of you who have been tuned in before, let the people know in the comments how fun this is and what they can be able to expect. So again, for those of you tuning in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to jump over to YouTube to be able to tune in properly and to see the link for my Patreon. Here are your instructions as we get right into our first reading. And thank you again, everyone, for being here. Here are your basic instructions. Step 1, share this broadcast if you haven't already done that. That's going to help more people tune in and be a part of the inspiration that we're cultivating here together. Because we're not just like doing tarot, we're like building community. We're building a team of people who are passionate about helping change the world. So share this broadcast with your friends. Step 2, I'm going to give you a number, and then I'm going to tell you to type that number into the chat. The 8th person to type this number into the chat will be the first person that we do our first reading for. And don't type the number in more than once, and wait a second before typing it in. So kind of take a breath, listen to your intuition, and then type it in. And we got a few chats here, so I'm going to be looking at multiple chats to be able to determine who the 8th person is who types in the number. So if you guys are ready for this, then here we go. And I'm going to give you that number in a second, and then we'll get right into our first reading. And then the next reading will be for the first Patreon sign up. And our objective during this broadcast is to get, well, I have to walk my dog soon. So let's say for now, 2 Patreon signups during this broadcast. So that will be 3 readings total, but I'll be back later tonight. Here's the number that I'm going to give you. So listen closely. I haven't given it to you yet. Only enter it in once. Don't spam the chat. The number I'm going to give you, be the 8th person to enter this number into the chat. The number is the number 888. So take a second to breathe. Breathe. Don't enter it in too fast. And then when you're ready, type 888 into the chat. And then as those numbers come in, because there's a little bit of a lag, I'm keeping an eye on like multiple chats. We have multiple chats right now, and I'll do my best to be able to determine who the first person is that we are doing the reading for today. So thank you again, everyone. So, okay, here they come now. Okay. I'm going to go quiet because I have to count here. I have to do this properly. All right, cool. Okay, so the first person that we are actually going to do the reading for today is going to be for Brit Elizabeth, who is that the 1111 movement chat? No, I think that's that's a chat off my own personal profile. Sweet. All right, awesome. So Brit Elizabeth, who is in the chat, thank you so much. Let us know if you're ready for this reading. For everybody else, stick around, because again, even like if you are here, this message is for you. This reading is for you. And it's a really, really cool way that we do this. So I'm going to post a link into the chat for the Patreon. So as we're doing this first reading, let's work towards our objective for the first Patreon sign up. And just as a quick idea of what you can get by signing up onto the Patreon in terms of the rewards that I offer. First of all, when you sign up at the asking level of $11 a month, which supports the ongoing work I do for the community, the value we're creating, you can get one of these super beautiful Lemurian Light Guardian crystals. And I know it's like a little bit sunny right now, so you might not be able to like see it super, like normally when it's dark, it's like all lit up and stuff like that. But again, these are handmade items, Lemurian Light Guardian crystals. These are like worth like well over $100. I hand make these. And when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can get one of those when you sign up at the $11 level. Plus, when you sign up at the $11 level, you have the option to be involved in the Paradigm Shift Central community as a leading member and to be able to have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. So if you're thinking about creating conscious media, definitely check out the Patreon, and I'll be able to work with you and help you build your content and help feature it through the community. And that in itself is like a value like worth over $200 a month. And again, we make it super affordable and accessible. So yes, we are providing value here, inviting you to be able to support. And let's get right into that first reading, and then we'll keep an eye open for the first Patreon sign up. So again, sign up to the Patreon to be the next person to be able to get a reading on air. And then from there, you also have the option. It can be either like an on-air reading or a private reading. So check out the Patreon as we're doing this. All right, Britt Elizabeth, confirm for me that you are ready. And they are? Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, so if anybody has any questions about the Patreon, let me know, but we can answer that a little bit later. And right now, let's just focus in on our first reading. Because again, if this is your first time here, I want you to be able to like experience, right? And then you can check out my Patreon later. All right, so Britt. And for everybody here, for everybody on Instagram, again, Instagram, click my bio link to tune in on YouTube. For everybody here, just inviting you to just take a moment here, just connect with your breath, and we'll just drop into this space of gratitude. So Britt, I just invite you to close your eyes. For everybody here, just practice breathing in this moment. So allow yourself to relax. And just bring yourself into this space of gratitude. Just feeling the community coming together, all these people here to help change the world, shifters, light guardians, helping assist with the shift in consciousness through intentional acts of creativity and compassion. That is what we do. That is what we are. Britt, as you are in this space, I want you to speak forth the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. I want you to speak this with your heart. I want you to speak this with your mind. I want you to speak this with your words. And when you are ready, Britt, take a few more breaths here and then type now into the chat. And when you type now into the chat, I will split the deck and pull the card for you. And give me a second here as I just charge up the deck. And as we spiral in once again, my friends, here amongst this journey that never truly ends, for we are on this path of always learning. We are on this path in which our fire shall forever keep on burning. As we continue to ignite the flame that will shine through the night, ignite. And we continue to shine our light to be able to show others how to stand up for what is right. And so as we breathe in with gratitude, we feel the truth of all that is, and we allow ourselves to receive the messages of this cosmic bliss. And so I think there it is. There's the now from Britt. Perfect. And as I split the deck, pull the card from there, set that off to the side. And now I'm going to, and again, thank you everyone for like adding their energy. I saw other people like typing in now. We're only, that's okay. It's a bonus. But Britt is the first person that we're doing this reading for. Ooh, this is a good card. I like this one. This is a beautiful card to be able to receive. All right. So do you guys like that sun ray? Can you like, so the first card that we have pulled for this reading, again, for those of you on Instagram, click my YouTube link in my bio so you can tune in and see properly. The first card that we have pulled for this reading is the Hierophant. So take a good look at that there. Instagram, I'll show that to you too. And give me 2 seconds here. We're going to open this up in the book. And so again, like with the style that we do here, this is using the Ananda Tarot deck. And then basically I'll read from the book, and then we'll dive deeper and like add in some more interpretation and talk about like how it relates to like shifting paradigms and what we're doing as like light workers and light guardians and our mission here. So again, as we're doing this first reading, you are invited to be able to support on the Patreon. And again, the Patreon is a super awesome way to support not only what I do, but to support the community and to be able to invest in yourself. So check out the Patreon. I'll post a link for that. Even if you're just like not entirely sure, check out my Patreon, because then you can just like at least learn more about what I do, and you can connect with our global team. So if you just want to connect with the team, check out the Patreon. Through there you can find the links to my Instagram and our Discord chat server and so much more. All right, so let's get right into this first reading, and we'll keep an eye. Wow, we've got like 100 people tuned in right now. So for all the 100 people tuned in right now, enjoy. We're just going to focus on this reading. I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go, but please be sure to check out the Patreon, connect, and help us work towards our goal of 200 supporters on Patreon in 2020. All right, so Britt, the person who we pulled this first card for, doing this on behalf of the collective as well. So for everybody here, if you are here, this message is for you. So looking at the image of the Hierophant, and then we're going to read from the book in a second. And again, for those of you on Instagram, click my bio link so that you can see the camera properly. So looking at this image here, This is a beautiful card, honestly. Like, I'm excited. It's really synchronistic to be able to get this card right now. So we have this visual image here of this book down at the bottom and opened up with like ancient script written on it. You can actually, it's hard to see, but there's actually like in the corner, there's like an alpha. There's an alpha and an omega in the corner, top right and top left and bottom right of the book. And you can see this beautiful like mandala on the up in the top part of the card with kind of like a face in it. Kind of looks like almost like an ascended master. And yeah, just like these beautiful colors, these yellows, these blues, and these like dark blues at the bottom. So let's dive into this. So again, I'm just going to read this. So as I'm reading this, just be present. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. And please feel free to like, you can follow me on Instagram while you're listening to this. Go for it. I got some cool stuff on there. All right. Here we go. The Hierophant. So it's going to shift. Watch this. We're just going to like shift the energy here. You're going to feel this. Number 5. The Hierophant. The image. The continuance of a spiritual teacher appears from a higher level of consciousness in order to bring the essence of spiritual knowledge to the level of mankind. Again, as I'm reading this, keep this in mind. This is a context of us setting the intention as a community. Show us what we need to see. So this is what we need to see. Listen. If you are here, this message is for you. Meaning, whereas the Emperor represents the instinctive side of the male principle, which dominates the material level, the High Priestess represents the principle that works on the spiritual level. After driving forces have been brought under control by conscious thinking in order to collect the present energies to be used for the highest good of all concerned, the consciously developed individual becomes the medium between the spiritual and the material realities. Let me reread that. In order to collect the present energies to be used for the highest good of all concerned, the consciously developed individual becomes the medium between the spiritual and the material realities. The knowledge of deeper connections of the cosmic laws of nature puts mankind in the position of recognizing spirit as the original spark. The effects of the illusory material world touch upon this spark. The search for the meaning of life, one's own calling, and the fulfillment in a deeper context brings man into contact with the timeless wisdom of past epochs. I'm going to reread that. The search for the meaning of life, one's own calling, and the fulfillment in a deeper context brings man into the contact with the timeless wisdom of past epochs. The release of established patterns of thinking and development of healthy ability to differentiate are relevant for a spiritual lifestyle as a deep belief in the goodness of man and its resulting selfless actions. The heartfelt wish to fulfill his purpose makes him sensitive to hearing and trusting his inner voice. True spiritual leadership comes from within and has its source in deep faith. Therefore, we should grasp the meaning of that which is important and learn from our own example as well as from the experiences of other people. Astrological significance: Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Sagittarius. Keywords: meaningful use of the energies at hand, living one's inner truth, spiritual messenger, medium between spirit and matter, messenger of spiritual value, orientation, pedagogic talent, spiritual awareness, established patterns of thinking, learning processes, differentiation abilities, self-recognition. Traditional meaning: spiritual influence, religious leadership, occult knowledge, teaching ability, faith, spiritual authority, ritualism, conversion, old belief system, wisdom, faith, and trust. Okay. So let's dive deeper here. If everyone's still here, just drop an 1111 in the chat just to confirm that you guys can still hear me okay within the chat and everything, and just let me know that you're present. So if you're here, if at any point, if the card resonates with you, just drop 1111s in the chat. That's kind of like our thing that we do. So let's go a little bit deeper into the message here. So again, the Hierophants. Now, this is a word that I think like a lot of people, they've probably heard before, but they may not be entirely familiar with what it is. And so the Hierophant, very simply put, basically means like the messenger. It kind of relates to this idea of like being, again, the bridge between worlds. It's similar to the hermit. It's similar to the idea of like, the one who's like very in tune with the ancient wisdoms, but it goes a step further. This card really calls us into action, and it's really a card that I've always resonated with. I'm just going to pull this down a bit that way so you can see me properly. That's good. So way back in the day, I'll give you a little bit of context here. Thank you again, everyone, for your comments. You're all awesome, and stay tuned for the next reading. And again, we're going to keep diving deep here. So within what I do, like the Paradigm Shift Central project, for those of you who may be brand new, this is a project where basically I set out the intention to essentially be a Hierophant. And what was I doing in being a Hierophant? I was helping bring forth messages from spirit into mainstream culture. I was serving as a bridge. And so for you, Brit, and for everybody else who is tuned into this, let this card be a powerful reminder of what our purpose is, of what our mission is. I mean, what's the point of reading all of these books if we're not sharing the knowledge, if we're not integrating it into ourselves, if we're not embodying the virtues that they bring forth? And so one of the things that I did when I started the Paradigm Shift Central project, a lot of you are familiar with this idea of like, going out and doing free hugs and holding signs that had conscious words on it. Like me and my buddies, like we did this and we stood at, like in front of a park entrance, and it was a sign and it literally just said like, like we are collective consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. And another sign that said, open your heart. There's these old signs of this. But my point is, way back in the day, me and my friends actually did this, and we actually referred to it as Project Hierophant. And basically, it was this intention of how can we use our creativity to bring more awareness of spirit into culture, to be able to create that bridge between worlds. And so I invite you to reflect, how are you doing that? How can you do it more? And how are you most excited to be able to do that? And so nowadays, because of social media, it's happening faster and faster and faster. We have the ability to compress, like an ancient wisdom into a single meme. We can create videos sharing our stories, and we have people listening as active audience. And so as a Hierophant, one of the things I think is important to be able to keep in mind is the idea, and let me know if you resonate with this, drop an 1111 in the chat, is the idea that so much of what we are doing and what we are carrying forward to be able to help share with people isn't so much this idea of simply like telling them, oh, believe this, but more so it's inviting them to reflect and to remember something that they already know, to invite them to open the book of their own heart. So if you look at the card here, like you literally have like a rose at the center of the spine of this book with the alpha and the omega. You can think of that as literally being kind of like the rose being the heart wisdom, and this book kind of being like the ancient wisdom that is already connected to us. It's similar to this idea that, we as humans, we're not just these local hard drives. We're not just like just our experience. We're actually kind of like plugged into an internet, an interconnected net, the evernet, the universal net. And so because of this, the wisdom of the ancients is in us, is connected to us. And so what this card really invites us to do is to be able to work on ourselves, to be able to find purpose in being able to help bring these messages into culture, specifically now more than ever through acts of creativity, through acts of compassion, through acts of intention, to be able to create community events where people can practice talking about these things, where we can ask questions, where we can start connecting the dots. And so I think as a Hierophant, again, it's kind of like this very intentional yet passive role to serve as a mirror for people to see themselves, for them to see the Hierophant within themselves, and for them to be able to remember the knowledge and the aha moments within themselves. And so for you, Brit, who's the person who we pulled this card for, but again, doing this card for the collective team right now, let this be a reminder of what our purpose is. Our purpose is literally to be able to help accelerate the shift in consciousness, to be able to make a difference, to choose to be the change that we wish to see. And so if we just go and, if we don't do anything, people keep walking along and they just do their regular routine and they're kind of autonomous. It's kind of like drones. They just keep doing their regular routines. But as an example, when you get out there and you do something like free hugs, or you have a sign that says like some sort of conscious theme, suddenly people start seeing that and the patterns start changing. An impact is made, a ripple is created, and people start reflecting, and it starts inviting them to wake up. And so the Hierophant is the one who is gently helping people wake up. And so that is what you are doing. You, the person listening to this, that is what you are doing every single day. Every single day is an opportunity for you to be able to help assist people in waking up, in gently remembering. And so again, the Hierophant is kind of like this like shaman ninja, you know, and it's not to mean that you have to have everything figured out, because part of the journey of the Hierophant is learning through sharing. And so again, I share this with you, and we'll wrap up this reading in the next second because I want to keep it very focused here. Think about it this way. Your role is to be the bridge. Our role is to be the bridge between higher conscious ideas and mainstream culture, and to be able to begin integrating them. It's kind of like this vision of bringing like 5D knowledge into 3D reality. And so again, it's just working as an ambassador for creativity, as an ambassador for consciousness. And part of what this card is inviting us to do is to get good at being that bridge, at being that ambassador. And how do we do that? By nurturing ourselves, by taking care of ourselves, by following what makes our heart sing, by doing that which inspires us, by expanding the limits of our creativity. If you invest in your creativity, you're investing in your ability to be able to more effectively transmit your message as a Hierophant. This is honestly, this is something that like I'm helping people with. So like, if you're someone who is like, yo, I've got all these ideas, but I don't have the channels for the creativity to flow. Like, I'd love to make a video, I'd love to make a meme, but I don't know how to do it. Part of what I do within the Paradigm Shift Central community, when you can sign up to the Patreon, is I help people get clarity on being conduits for that creative message so that we together can serve as Hierophants for the collective. So when you invest in yourself, such as by signing up to the Patreon, wink, you are getting more capable of being a messenger for spirit, being a messenger for consciousness, being a message for the universe, with that intention of being able to help people wake up to help lead people back to the wisdom of their own heart, to be able to help them see the magic of this world, to be able to help awaken them from their sleep. So again, just hitting upon the keywords here, and then we're going to wrap this up, and then we'll get into our next reading once we've got our next Patreon sign up ready. Meaningful use of energies, living one's inner truth, spiritual messenger, medium between spirit and matter, messenger of spiritual value, orientation, spiritual awareness, established patterns of thinking, learning process. So again, if you are listening to this, I give you permission to be the Hierophant. Project Hierophant is happening right now. Paradigm Shift Central is Project Hierophant. It is about us being modern day shamanic hackers, social alchemists, those of us who weave our way into culture with intention to be able to help change the system from within. If these words resonate with you, then be sure to stay connected with what I'm creating and what we're building as a team. And so again, for you, Britt, for everybody here, this is a very, very powerful card and a reminder, especially as we move into 2020, of what we can do to make a difference, of the little seeds that we can plant, of the conversations that we can have, of the compassion that we can show, of the creativity that we can share. Everything that you can do in terms of expressing yourself can be done so with an intention to be able to help inspire people, to help them see, to shift their paradigms, to be a mirror. Art is our weapon. Art is our sword. Art is our tool. And so let us use our art to be the modern day Hierophants that we are and that we are becoming. So the Hierophant, very, very powerful card, bringing in that higher conscious wisdom into mainstream culture with purpose and intention. And you got this card to be able to remind you that this is what you are here to do. So activate your abilities as an artist, activate your abilities as a media creator, activate your abilities as a social alchemist, and keep planting those seeds. Be a mirror for people's growth. Help them awaken and continue. We collectively shift the consciousness as a whole. 100th monkey effect, things like that. Ripples create waves. So very, very powerful card. Thank you again, Britt, for helping us pull that first card. And yeah, absolutely. That's like, seriously, like the concept of the Hierophant has always been something that I've resonated with. And I think more and more of us are starting to also feel the archetype of the Hierophant within us. So Britt and anybody else, message me directly if you would like, and I can send you a picture of the card and also like the write-up within the book. But yeah, definitely, I think that was a great message to be able to see, even one that was definitely, again, reflecting on what is needed at this moment. So, all right, moving into the next stage, and again, drop some, Britt, go ahead, leave a comment if how this resonates with you, and please feel free, anybody else, leave your comments as well. Let us know how this resonates with you also, and yeah, we'll read those on air. All right, so with that said, we're going to get right into our next reading as soon as we are ready. And again, the next reading is for the next person to sign up on Patreon. And again, for those of you who may be here for the first time, let me just see. We got about like still like 50, 60 people tuned in right now. Cool, Britt. Yeah, please feel free to message me. Absolutely. And so again, the way how we do things within these readings, the first reading, we get like right into it, help people connect, provide some awesome value. The additional readings that we do are by inviting people to sign up to the Patreon. So our intentions for these broadcasts, provide awesome value and inspiration for the community, and to be able to invite people to support my personal Patreon, which allows us to continue to build things as a team. So for those of you who are familiar, if you're familiar with like what I've already been creating, then I want you to be able to like be in that position where it's like an easy yes, because you're just like, yo, like, and people in the chat who are already familiar with me, who are already signed up to the Patreon, like feel free to let others know that like, yo, like signing up to our Patreon is like worthwhile and important and something that is serving the community. And again, it gives a lot of value for you as well when you sign up for the Patreon. At the asking level is the $11 a month, but you can sign up at the $5 and still get a reading. And again, you get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystal when you sign up there. You get the option to join as a leading member, which allows you to have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. So again, that's like me assisting and providing value, helping you become the better Hierophant that you're here to be, and to be able to join our on-air synergy circles, which are a gathering of conscious creators and leaders. So again, if you're like looking for a community of other conscious creators and leaders, check out the Patreon, get involved. Even if you don't want to sign up as a Patreon supporter just yet, you can still join our team chat and you can be connected that way. Either way, please feel free to stay connected. So let's keep an eye open for the next Patreon supporter, and reading some of the comments here. Britt says, oh god, this resonates big time. I was in question of this before checking mail on Facebook. Beautiful, beautiful, Britt. I'm happy to be able to hear that and to share. And again, that's such a common thing when we do these broadcasts, is so many people are just like, yo, like, that's exactly what I need to hear. Like, that was exactly, you know, like, perfect. And again, it has a lot to do with the intention. And so by me just doing the readings here, I hope this also gives people inspiration to be able to, you know, like, maybe they can do a reading, maybe they can do live tarot reading. And even if you're thinking about creating your own Patreon, part of what I also do is help Patreon supporters build their Patreon. So let's get ready to get into our next reading. Once we have someone who is ready to sign up for the Patreon, it only takes 3 minutes to sign up. So again, you can support at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. I'll post the link for that into the chat. And once you are signed up there, we will confirm on air, and then we will get right into our next reading. And again, you can sign up at the $5 level. You can sign up at the $11 level. I'd love to get some people signed up at like the higher levels, even like the 69 level and stuff like that. There are other levels and stuff like that, which is kind of like, we provide it as like a sliding scale. Like, you get a lot of value by being involved as a leading member, but you can think of that as like a sliding scale between like $11 and $1,000. So it's like, it's meant to be like affordable in that sense. So see it as like an investment for yourself and for the community and what we're creating together. Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, Britt. And again, please feel free to stay connected. And again, for those of you who are here, we're going to wait for the next person to sign up for the Patreon before we get right into that next reading. And again, by you signing up to the Patreon, like, you're also providing the value of the reading for the entire community. So again, just as a quick recap, again, we're going to get right into our next reading once we have someone signed up for the Patreon. And the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution of whatever amount you would choose, but the asking amount is $11 a month. And again, that's a lot of value. So if you're like thinking about creating YouTube videos, if you want to learn how to be a conscious creator, if you want to be able to like increase your impact, then definitely take a look at my Patreon, see what we're doing as a team, and get involved there. And you can get one of these beautiful Light Guardian crystals, which I hand make. Awesome. Hey, Idra, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again, everyone. If it's your first time here, just drop a 222 in the comments. Javier says, when I signed up, I immediately felt the rise of vibrations in my immediate space. Erica says, I did too. Thank you. We got, so again, I know, like, we got, thank you to our Patreon supporters who are already here. And again, part of our goal right now is to reach 200 Patreon supporters within this month, and 200 Patreon supporters and beyond. And again, that's because as an entrepreneur, building that support just allows me to keep investing in more in the project, which is like providing awesome value for the community. So let's get ready to move into that next tarot reading once we have someone who's signed up for the Patreon. So again, it takes 3 minutes to sign for the Patreon, and you signing up can either be a private reading, an on-air reading. And even if there's any Patreon supporters who are already here, if you want to upgrade your Patreon pledge, please feel free to do that. And we can also do a reading for the team in that way. Shuzazu says, it most definitely worthwhile, very valuable and inspirational. Thank you. Like, seriously, your guys' support means a lot. Like, really does. So awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay, so aloha to Renee, aloha to Goldberg. Let's see, how many people do we got? We got about 75 people tuned in right now. So even if you're here, even if you're just here, and if it's like your first time, please feel free to just like connect to my Instagram, follow me more, check out my Patreon when you can, so that you can see more of what I do and what we are creating together. There's some really awesome videos that we got on there. And again, right now, based on just kind of creating the container, we are waiting for another person to sign up on Patreon. Our objective is to get 2 Patreon signups before the end of this broadcast, and then I'll be back on air later tonight to be able to do some more readings before we get before I have to go to hockey tonight. So again, for those of you who are just joining in on Instagram, if you click my bio link, you can tune in on YouTube. And if someone here is like in the process of signing up for the Patreon, or just let me know, be like, yo, I'm going to sign up later and stuff like that, please feel free to let me know. And if you do have any general questions about the Patreon, let me know too. And again, so for those of you who may be entirely new, just give a little bit of recap. We'll do the next reading as soon as we got someone signed up. But again, for those of you who may be new to this, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator, award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I've been dedicating myself to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness for over 10 years, creating conscious media, building community, building a team of real-world superheroes, of shifters, of light guardians. And again, by supporting on Patreon, it's an investment for yourself, for the team, and yeah, lots of awesome value coming out of that. So, oh, and also, just to let everyone know, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we're going to be doing a very special guided global meditation this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're looking for that, stick around for that. And we've done some awesome guided meditations in the past. That's like one of the things that I do. All right, so aloha, Monica, Javier, Lucky Live Tarot, Lady Luck Live Tarot. Thank you again, everyone. All right. So again, we've got about like almost 100 people tuned in. So I know for a fact that there's someone here who, there's a few people here that are ready to sign up for the Patreon. And again, I'm not asking everyone to sign up for the Patreon, but if you're in a position to do so, go ahead and check that out, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton, and that gives you the next reading on air. And it provides a reading for the entire community. So all right, and again, when we do the readings, if you're just looking for like purely, again, like by you being here, when we do the readings for anyone, it's still a reading for you. So it's a really cool way how we do this. All right, okay, cool. So, all right, again, I am just hanging tight, and I'm wondering if there's like, I feel, see, that's the thing with Facebook. I think some people share the broadcast, and then there's other chats that are happening that I don't know about, which means I'm not able to see like where people are tuning in right now. But if you're tuning in on Facebook and you're not in the same chat as me, the link at the bottom of the screen, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton, that's the Patreon. So that link right there, open that up. It takes 3 minutes to sign up. And again, yes, you're getting a reading, but you're also like investing in yourself. And I'll just show you some more Lumerian Light Guardian crystals. Because seriously, there are some people that would like sign up just for the Lumerian Light Guardian crystals. So you can see here's a beautiful one here. This one changes colors. They all change colors. And this is, again, like a handmade item that I make. And we also make other items, including like the laminated free hug signs, the shift buttons, which have the Paradigm Shift Central website on it. They're tools to evoke synchronicity. Got all sorts of cool designs there. All right. Hang tight, everyone. We're waiting for that next Patreon sign up. So hopefully it will be in the next couple moments. And if somebody is in the process of signing up for the Patreon, please feel free to let me know. We've got like, and again, I don't want to keep people waiting because we got about like 70 people tuned in right now. So if you're just like, yo, let's get this going, then one of the ways, again, assist by signing up onto the Patreon when you're ready. And again, that's a monthly micro contribution of $5, $11, $1 million, whatever works for you is totally cool. All right. Okay, I just have to restart my broadcast on Instagram. For some reason it crashed. I'm not exactly sure why. So in the meantime, if anybody here just wants to leave a comment where you guys tuned in from, let us know in the chats. And I would love to just be able to echo back some more gratitude as well. And all right, we're live back on Instagram. All right. So if anybody has any questions about the Patreon, please feel free to let me know. And again, so our intentions here is to provide awesome value for the community by being able to do live readings and also to be able to invite people to sign up onto the Patreon. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Yo, Sean, thanks for joining in. So again, as we do these readings, the next reading that we will do, which I'm super excited to get into, but we just want to be able to wait for the next person to sign up for the Patreon, which will be any second now, is, again, the readings that we do here, they're not like psychic readings. They're not like, again, they're not like kind of like fortune tellings. They're very simple with the intention of show us what we need to see and to be able to bring forth that intentional message and to be able to support each other as a team. And we're building as a team when we're here. So again, if someone here, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, let us know in the comments. And then again, go ahead at patreon.com/Brendan Colton, sign up at the $5, the $11 level. And again, sometimes when we do these broadcasts, sometimes we get like 5 Patreon signups, like boom, 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 boom. And then we're like set for like, like 2 hours worth of broadcasts. Right now, I think there's a lot of new people. So again, I just want to be able to welcome them, invite them through it. And again, to be able to help them know what it is that we work with here. So again, if you are familiar with my work, if you're if this is your first time here, then be sure to check out my Patreon, sign up with a contribution, a monthly micro support that helps you get a lot of awesome stuff in return. And again, for those of you tuning in on Instagram, if you click the link in my bio, then you can tune in on YouTube there. And again, when you sign up on the Patreon, you get a Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal. You get access to me as a private conscious media creation coach to help you as a Hierophant. And you get to join as a leading member within our community to be able to get more perks to support you as a conscious creator. So, just double checking. All right, so we got people tuning in from South Africa. Aloha to Nicole. We got Brits tuning in from North Carolina. Idra, thank you so much for tuning in. And yes. All right, okay, I'm just going to take a sip here. Okay, so again, the next reading will commence as soon as we have that next person ready to sign up for the Patreon. And again, you can sign up at any level. And I apologize. I'm not trying to like draw things out longer, guys. By no means. Again, it's about being able to like create intention, create conditions, and to be able to work towards our objective. I'm sure you understand that by being able to invite people to the Patreon just allows us to keep doing more of this. So, all right. All right. Yes. So yeah. So this isn't Salma. Welcome to the broadcast again. Yeah. The way how we do this here, we did do a reading like right off the start for someone in the chat. And then the next readings that we do sequentially are for people who, as they sign up to the Patreon. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution of $5, $11, or $1,000. Again, that's you can put in between. And again, when you're signing up to the Patreon, you're also getting the option to be involved with our community, which I'm trying not to repeat myself too many times. All right, how many people here are like, yo, let's get right into this reading? Like, drop a 999 if you're just like, yo, like, let's get to the next reading. Because again, I can feel your anxiousness, and that next reading will commence as soon as we get that next person signed up for the Patreon. And again, it only takes 3 minutes to sign up for the Patreon. So who here, and I would love if we just get like literally just like boom boom boom, let's just get like 4 people signed up for the Patreon right away. Yo, Sean, you're tuning in from South Africa? Dude, that's awesome. You're on some like secret expeditions, I imagine, so uncovering some hidden cave somewhere. All right, Sean, good to see you, dude. All right, okay, all right. Again, guys, like I'm ready to get into this reading, but that reading will commence once we have that next person signed up for the Patreon. And again, for those of you who are here, even if you're already signed up for the Patreon, if you want to increase your Patreon pledge, then we can still do a reading for the team, for the community. So again, the readings, as it says on air, sign up on Patreon for readings plus rewards. So the next reading will happen as soon as we get that person signed up for the Patreon. So I'm super ready to do it, and let's see who that first person will be, and we'll give them a huge special thank you and shout out as they do it. And so again, once you're ready, go ahead, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And again, like there's like awesome free hugs videos I've done, like full-length movies, like conscious movie reviews, humor videos. I just put up a new video of my first time doing stand-up comedy. I know some of you saw that. So all right. Okay. Again, this is like, maybe it's a time of day. I don't know. You guys tell me. But again, this may be like the longest delay between readings that we've had so far. I apologize. But you guys, again, you guys help create the flow here. You guys help create the conduction. So again, that next reading will commence as soon as we get that next person signed up for the Patreon. And in the meantime, I'll just like keep entertaining you as best as I can. Oh, and I'll let you know, when you sign up for the Patreon, the next person who gets a reading, you also get the choice of getting either the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. So even if you, again, don't want to sign up right to the second, you can always sign up later, and we can still do like a private one-on-one reading as well. So Lightworker Oracle deck, Ananda Tarot deck. You get the choice when you sign up as the next person on the Patreon. And we're currently at 147, working towards our goal of 200. And thank you to our recent Patreon supporters, Chris, Sebastian, Karen, and Brady. And come on, guys, let's come on, team, let's get that next Patreon sign up. We got like seriously, we got like 60, probably like 70 people tune in, and people, and seriously, like, I just want to acknowledge everyone's patience. And in the meantime, as we're waiting for that next Patreon sign up, I'll just tell you again, like, what we're doing within the Paradigm Shift Central project. We are building a team of conscious creators and leaders. So if this is your first time connecting with me, follow me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. Through there, you can connect to our team page at Paradigm Shift Central. You can see like the various creators that we're featuring. You can get involved in multiple levels. You can, again, be able to chat with me to be able to help you get more clarity on your conscious creation. I can support you in creating your own Patreon, all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, again, let's get, who's ready to sign up for that Patreon? Again, we got 70 people here. Again, I'll just clarify for those of you who are just tuning in. We do one reading right off the start, which we already did, which was great, and that was a good reading, and I'm glad people got to do that. And then the next readings that we do to continue to provide value are by being able to invite people to sign up onto the Patreon. And the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution to be able to help support artists that you love and to be able to get awesome rewards in your return. And so check out my Patreon. The link for that is on screen. And you can even check it out and sign up later. And the contribution doesn't even process until the 1st of February. So you can check it out, sign up, no risk. And yeah, and then you'll help activate that next reading for the entire team. And we've got about, I have to walk my dog at some point. There it is. All right. Okay, sweet. We got our first Patreon support. Yes. All right. Thank you so much to Matthew. Matthew, thank you so much for adding your support on the Patreon. Again, let's get right into this next reading. So there you go. Everybody's happy now. And as we're doing this reading, again, someone sign up again and we'll get right into the next reading. Like, we keep the gears here rolling and the community helps make it happen. So thank you again, everyone. Matthew, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat where you are. Everybody stick around and we're going to get right into this reading. I'm going to update the on-screen graphic. And Matthew signed up at the $11, which again gets him a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystal with the agreement to continue supporting the project ongoing, and also gets access to me as their private conscious media creation coach, which is worth like over $250 a month. Gets to work alongside myself and other creators within our private team chat, gets to join our on-air synergy circles where it's featuring conscious creators, and lots of really, really cool stuff as well. So thank you, Matthew, for investing in us and investing in you, man. Super, super appreciated. All right, Matthew, let me know where you are in the comments. Awesome. I'm just gonna read some of the comments. Yeah, and if anybody here just wants to like put in some gratitude for those of you who are already involved with the project, first of all, let me just say the project's still evolving. So I appreciate everyone for being involved and being a part of the process of it growing. Erica, one of our Patreon supporters, says, I'm a music creator who recently connected with Paradigm Shift, and I've been working on musical collaboration with Brendan. Hope to have it complete soon. Yes, Erica, Erica, they are working on combining like some poetry or a song that I did and adding some music to it. So that's a really cool thing. All right, so I'm just looking to confirm where Matthew is. So Matthew, leave a comment in the chat to be able to see where they are. Is Matthew, Jimmy, is Matthew in the Instagram chat? If you are, let me know. So once I can confirm where Matthew is, then we're gonna get right into this next reading. And again, for those of you who would like to be able to get a reading on air or private, and way more than just a reading, again, go ahead, sign up for the Patreon, and you can also get all sorts of other cool stuff there. And we're gonna get right into this reading once I've just confirmed where Matthew is, because I don't want to, I don't want to do it without him. Assuming he is here. If I don't hear from Matthew in the next couple minutes, then we'll jump into it. And then I'll make up for it if Matthew's around later. But thank you again, Matthew, or Matthew, I should say. All right, so awesome. Thank you again to those of you tuned in on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So happy to be able to have everyone here, and let's get right into our next reading. I just want to be able to give one more minute for Matthew, and again, invite people to be able to sign up for the Patreon. And let's get 2 signups during this broadcast, and I'll be back later tonight because I have to like take a break to go walk my dogs and work out and stuff. So where is Matthew? Matthew, are you here? I'm not exactly sure if Matthew is here. So if Matthew is not here, then we are going to get right into this next reading. So if you're here, if you're tuned in right now, drop an 1111 in the chat. Again, I know we've got like 75 people tuned in on Facebook, but I guarantee there's people probably chatting on Facebook, and I don't know where the, like, go to my, if you're on Facebook, go to the feed on my profile and join the chat there. Otherwise, I may not be seeing your chats. And I'd love to be able to see your chats. So make sure that you're jumping over there. So Matthew, let me know, last call, if Matthew is here, and otherwise we'll just do a reading and we'll kind of do it as a collective. And then again, the next reading will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon, and let's work on getting one more Patreon sign up as we're doing this. All right, Indra's super ready. Indra, thank you so much. I apologize if I'm not saying your name entirely correct, but Indra, thank you so much. You have been like a supporter of my work for quite some time, and it really means a lot to be able to see you again and to see you here. So let's get right into this. All right. Okay, I'm gonna move right into this. All right. That's not Matthew in the chat, is it? No, it's not. Okay. All right, okay, let's get right into this, and then if Matthew jumps in, I'll make sure I do like a private reading with them afterwards. But nonetheless, priority is being able to keep the show rolling. So again, intentions here are to entertain you and to be able to provide awesome value and to be able to help support what it is that we're creating as a community. So again, as we're doing this next reading, go ahead, check out my Patreon, connect with my Instagram and the team Instagram there, subscribe to my YouTube, sign up when you can, get awesome stuff such as the Lumerian Light Guardian crystals, and also, yeah, all sorts of cool things. All right, let's get right into this reading. You guys are like, yes, Brendan, you've told us about the Patreon. You've told us 30 times in the last 10 minutes. I'm like, but it's for the people who just tuned in. Okay, nonetheless. All right. We're going to do the Ananda Tarot deck. We do have the option to do the Lightworker Oracle deck, but I want to save that for someone who signed up for the Patreon. So, so Matthew, if you are here in the chat, last call, but we're going to get right into this next reading, and we're going to do it as a collective, as a team. All right, thank you again, everyone, for your support and your kind comments. All right, let's do this. All right, so we're gonna do this one as a collective. So I'm gonna invite everybody here. Let's like put our energy together. And again, if you're enjoying this, stick around and subscribe because we're gonna be doing a special guided global meditation this Thursday. Very, very important one too. You'll find out why. All right, shuffling the deck here. Invite everybody here. Connect with the breath. Drop into the space of gratitude. Close your eyes. Relax. If you're listening to this broadcast, just want to take a moment here to thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here at this moment, this very important time where we are coming together as a team to be able to help support and inspire one another. So just feel the gratitude in your heart. Yeah, we're doing tarot, but we're growing as a team. This is coming around the round table once again. So for anybody listening to this, I invite you to speak the intention of show us what we need to see. I want you to speak that with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. And then I want someone, it could literally be anyone, to take a few more breaths and to type now into the chat. And once I see that first now, then we'll pull the card. Give me a second here. I got to charge it first. Take a second. Take a breath. Listen to your heart. Speak with intention. And as the magic of these portals continue to open within our heart, let us continue to change the world through the power of this art. For we are here as shifters and light guardians, my friends. We are here to be a part of this story and this journey that never truly ends. For we are awakening within this dream. We are remembering that there is more than what is seen. For we must feel with our hearts. We must live with our love as we bring down the wisdom from above. All right, so splitting the deck there. Whew. All right, you guys excited? You guys pumped? All right. Okay. The next card that we have pulled here on Live Tarot Reading with Wolf is the Princess of Swords. So showing that there to the Instagram. Again, if you guys are tuning in on Instagram, click my bio link and you can join in on YouTube. All right, so Princess of Swords. Give me 2 seconds here. We're just going to flip this open. Again, if you were tuned into this and you want to connect with the team, you want to connect with me further, follow me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. Connect to my Facebook. My Facebook's not my primary place, though, so make sure you're following me on Instagram for other stuff. Facebook is great for my broadcasts. YouTube is great for my videos, but Instagram is good for, like, direct messaging. So, all right, so we're going to get right into this reading. And 1 second here, Princess of Swords, there it is. We're gonna get right into this next reading, and again, as we're doing this, want to be able to invite the next Patreon sign up as we do this. So again, as we're doing this, if you're just like, yo, I really appreciate the value that you're sharing here, Brendan, and what you're doing for the community and have been doing for like over 10 years, and I want to be able to create a vote, a universal energetic vote to support what you're doing, to support what we're doing, then again, sign up for the Patreon to be the next person that we do a reading for on air. Get your Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal. Be involved as a leading member. Get access to me as your private conscious media creation coach. And yeah, be involved. Be involved. So thank you again, everyone, so much for your support. All right. Princess of Swords. Again, for those of you on Instagram, click my bio link so that you can see the camera properly. So just looking at the image here, what do we got? We have this beautiful image of this female, womanly figure who's kind of like just like this transparent cloud-like figure up in the sky with their arm reach towards the stars and then kind of like ascending out of the clouds across the horizon. And behind them, you can see a variety of architecture. You can see what almost look like piano keys and corners with like buildings and hieroglyphs. And the look on her face is very serene. And she has her eyes open, kind of gaze towards the heaven. And the clouds are rolling, and there's like little like moons or like spheres within her palms. And just a very beautiful, beautiful, serene image. So there's the image there, and let's dive deeper into the explanation. So awesome. Indra says that's how I was dancing today. I can imagine that. They're like, shh, yes. All right, so let's get right into this. Again, we're going to do this reading, and then we'll get right into the next reading as soon as we have another person sign up for the Patreon. And thank you again to Mathieu for helping us do this next reading for the team. And Mathieu, if you are in the chat, let us know. And again, for everybody here, if you are here, this message is for you. So thank you for being here. Let it inspire your spirit. Let it inspire us as a collective. Yes. If you wish to close your eyes, feel free. Present. Princess of Swords. The image. Apparently without a foundation, a female being dances from a faraway place towards the fullness of a sky in motion. Meaning, through the connection of the air element with the earth element, the flighty part of the thinking mind unites with the dense material forms. Lightness and heaviness meld within the Princess of Swords to form a dynamic female aspect of the element air. Excuse me. I have to restart the broadcast on Instagram. I'll do that in a second. The binding of two opposite principles almost inevitably calls forth change. Mental malleability stands opposite the static principle of the material. The motionless is moved, and the restless is tamed. The characteristics of Venus and Mars are able to find their expression in dance as well as in other disciplines, in which the principle of motion is able to bring a harmonious accord with form-giving powers. The Princess of Swords can be an indicator for using the intelligence of nature as a source of inspiration, as well as expressing the penetrating clarity of the mind in the spoken word. However, the value of an idea is measured only by its degree of realization. I'm going to reread that last part. The Princess of Swords can be an indicator for using the intelligence of nature as a source of inspiration, as well as for expressing the penetrating clarity of the mind in the spoken word. However, the value of an idea is measured only by its degree of realization. Astrological significance: Venus, Mercury, Libra, Earth, and air elements. Keywords: wisdom of nature, bodily movement, sense of justice, naturalness, love of freedom, contemplation, creative expression. Traditional meaning: healthy understanding of others, agility, brightness, communication, changes. Very cool, very cool. So this is a very beautiful card to be able to see, and I think a lot of people are going to kind of relate to this card on a few different levels. And so for this card, again, I think this card, whenever we have the swords cards usually relates to like ideas, concepts of the mind. And so with this card, again, it's very much about being able to reflect on the importance of having that airy element, which can be kind of like, you know, like reaching up for the ideas within the sky. And this card actually relates to the Hierophant in a lot of ways, and kind of like being able to kind of like get into the realms of our imagination, get into those creative spaces, get into those spots of inspiration and aha moments, but then to be able to channel them into a foundation of earth and stability and practicality, and something that we can deliver as a message, as art, as intention. And so again, the binding of the two opposite principles almost inevitably calls forth change. Mental malleability stands opposite the static principle of the material. The motionless is moved and the restless is tamed. So again, that idea of like the wind, like when you think of the wind, it's always moving. Like wind is never still, right? And then you think of the earth, and the earth, it's like relatively static. It moves, but it kind of moves at a slower pace. And so with this card, it's really reminding us that we don't want to just be like too mind. We don't want to just be too much the air. We want to be able to, if we feel ourselves kind of becoming a little bit unbalanced, you know, like unbalanced in that concept would just be like, wow, I have all of these great ideas, but I'm not conceptualizing them. I'm not realizing them. You know, it's just like, oh, I have like all of these things I want to create. I have all of this like inspiration inside of me. How do I bring it forth? How do I bring it forth into a tangible reality? And so that's where we anchor in into the wisdom of the earth. We anchor in into the importance of that stability, into that foundation, and to be able to practice this, to be able to bring this in as a practice. And so again, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you feel like you're not moving enough, then this is a card that's inviting you to practice moving, to practice dancing, to practice expressing yourself. And I say movement also in the sense of creativity, you know? So it's like, if you're not moving enough, maybe that means, again, you're just kind of like sitting on, you're becoming stagnant, and you might have some inspiration inside of you that needs to be like stirred up, that needs to be kind of like brought into life, that needs to be, you know, like brought into movement. And so again, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, well, I've always wanted to play the guitar, but I suck at guitar, so I'm not going to play the guitar. That would be an example of like the motionless remaining motionless. And so what you want to be able to do is observe if that's the case, but then to bring the movement of the air into it, again, with intention, to be able to give it that room to breathe, to give it that room to grow. And so again, if you're a person who's like use this card as a chance to reflect what within your life right now is either A, moving too much without being grounded, or B, not moving enough and needs to be moving. So again, if you feel yourself kind of like in this stage of like, yo, I've got a lot of like really, really like high energy, but it's almost like kind of like it can turn into aloofness. You know, it's like you're trying to do this and this and this and this and this, and because of that, nothing really gets done. This card is also a card that really invites us to be able to like focus with intention. I love the idea that the word focus literally can be thought of as an anagram for the term follow one course until successful. So if that's relative to you, then maybe that's something that you can practically bring into the next steps of your journey. Again, knowing that you needed to hear this. Where within your life right now are things just kind of perhaps like a little bit scattered, a little bit unorganized, a little bit all over the place? And how can you be able to resolve that? By being able to focus on one thing at a time, closing loops. Do you have any loops that haven't been closed yet? Do you have like projects that are half finished? Do you have like promises that are half kept? Do you have like responsibilities that you haven't fully done? Closing those loops is really, really important, because again, that's going to clear up room for you to be able to focus more on the things that you're equally excited about, being able to, more so excited to be able to focus on. And again, if this is a card where you're just kind of feeling, you're just like, oh, like I'm not, like I don't feel inspired, you know, like I don't, you know, I just, and what is inspiration? Inspiration can often come from a lack of movement, from stagnation. And so again, it's kind of like you need to like stir the pot. You need to like get the waters running. You need to kind of like shake the water ball and get like a vortex spinning inside of it. And so in doing this card is also, again, like reminding us of being able to learn from the inspiration of nature, you know, to learn from being able to just connect with nature and go sit down by the stream. Look at the way the water flows and practice moving as that does. Look at the way the wind moves through the trees and practice moving as that does. Or again, if you feel like you're too movement, go into the nature and look at a rock and see how still it is and practice being that. So it's like kind of practicing playing as the different elements relative to when you need to play them. Like you're basically like a Pokemon with all of the different elemental capabilities, and it's just a matter of like getting better at knowing when to kind of instigate certain ones at different times. So we're not even really talking about the fire and the water here, but again, the concept of the air being kind of like this like out there idea, out there thinking pattern, out there creative fashion, but just by its airness alone can often result in things not getting done. And so it's balancing the aloofness, the potential aloofness, but also like a lot of big ideas, and grounding it with the foundation of the earth, with the foundation of just being able to like be practical, focus on one thing at a time. And so again, with this card, the binding of the two, or I already said that, the characteristics of Venus and Mars. So again, this is very much like a polarity thing it's a yin yang thing, are able to find the expression in dance as well as in other disciplines in which the principle of motion is able to bring a harmonious accord with form giving powers. So really think about dance more as like a metaphor here, but also something that can be literally applied. Because like when you're dancing, what is happening right there? Like you're bringing in like this, like it's like the universe is kind of moving through you, and that's what you want to kind of get good at practicing. Yet you're doing it in such a way where it's like, oh my god, the universe is moving through me and I have no control, like wacky wavy inflatable spiritual arm man or something like that, right? Like instead you want to be able to it's so stupid, you want to be able to instead be able to like feel that energy moving through you, but then like anchor it and then like move it with intention and channel it and harness that element and direct it with focus, direct it like a sword, direct it as like an objective that you're in the process of accomplishing. The Princess of Swords can be seen as an indicator for using the intelligence of nature as a source of inspiration, as well as expressing the penetrating clarity of the mind in the spoken word. However, the value of the idea is measured only by its degree of realization. So though again, this card is really calling us into action as well. You know, it's saying like, you know, don't, you can put this into practice. You can literally put this into practice today, you know? And so again, I invite everybody here, if you're not dancing much, dance a little more. If you're feeling you're not still enough, practice being still. Finding that balance, being able to play with both and being able to understand the benefits of that earth element and that air element inside of us. And again, bringing that forward to be able to bring forth, again, bodily movement, naturalness, love of freedom, and creative expression. So let this be a card, very simply put, we'll wrap it up here, to be a card that invites you to practice expressing the love of freedom. And the love of freedom, again, I think the love of freedom is at its most free when it kind of like has this ability to kind of like go off and do something amazing, but then have a home to return back to. So you want to be able to give your actions, your kind of like thought processes, a home to come back to, the earth to return to. Practice finding that Zen space, practice finding that formidable location within your own heart or physically. And then again, that allows you to kind of like go out, do crazy things, creative things, get all sorts of ideas, bring it back to the earth and the stillness. Cultivate there, reflect, journal, write things down, get clarity on your next steps. Go out there, do it again, harvest, you know, go out there, go fishing for ideas, go on adventure, practice expressing yourself. Bring it back to clarity, bring it back to reflection, bring it back to intention, repeat this process, opposed to just doing one or the other. It's again, being able to do both, very much like a breath. So I think this is a really powerful card that again, just reminds us of being able to like get that agility, that spiritual agility of like being able to move fast and slow, and both are accomplishing equally as much. It's just a matter of being able to balance. Slowness just on its own is not always what you want. Fastness just on its own is not always what you want. Together, the mix between the two, that's when you can really yield results, because again, it creates this cadence, it creates this rhythm, it creates the breath, and it emulates that, and that is what you are. So practice being that breath in your actions, in your creative processes. Let me know in the chat, drop an 1111 if that resonates for you, and if what I said is like something that makes sense. Drop an 1111 if what I said made sense. Again, this is all just practice for me too, right? So I appreciate everybody holding space on that level as well. So all right, so again, that's the Princess of Swords, and we pulled that card again on behalf of Mathieu, who recently signed up for the Patreon. So thank you, Mathieu, for signing up onto the Patreon. And again, for everybody here, drop those comments into the chat. Be sure to connect with me on my Instagram if you haven't already yet. And again, we'll take a few minutes here. If there's another person signed up for the Patreon in the next couple minutes, we'll do one more reading. Otherwise, we'll take a break, and then I'll come back here a little bit later tonight, and we'll keep going a little bit further tonight. Awesome. Idra says that was perfect. Thank you so much. 1111 resonated a lot. Indra, thank you so much. Super appreciated your feedback. Eve dropping the 1111s as well. Thank you as well. And again, for those of you who may be on Facebook, again, keep in mind that unless you're commenting on the post on my original wall, I may not be seeing your comments. So just be aware of that. And if so, I appreciate you engaging, but just know that I'm not ignoring them or anything like that. So all right, Okay. All right, so just reading the other comments. Awesome. Erica, take care. See you later. That's interesting. Shuzazu says the proper work of the mind is the exercise of choice, refusal, yearning, repulsion, preparation, purpose, and assent. Continued. What then can populate and clog the mind's proper functioning? Nothing but its own corrupt decisions. Interesting. Epictetus. Did I pronounce that wrong? Probably. Awesome. Sean, thanks so much, dude. Appreciate your feedback. All right, team. So again, let's get that next Patreon supporter signed up as soon as possible. Again, the asking level on the Patreon is 11. You can sign up later. You can sign up under like the 5. If there's anybody here who is in a position to do so, who's just like, yo, Brendan, like here's like 50, here's like 100. Again, your support is equally appreciated because like finances are relative, right? Like there's some people who are literally just like, you know, they got like a decent amount of extra stuff that they're sitting on. So if you feel that what we're creating as a team is something that you want to invest in, please, I welcome all of it. And again, it just helps support me as an artist, and it allows us to continue to do more as a team. So that's why, like for me, over this next month, being able to increase my Patreon by X number of Patreon supporters is going to help open up some more doors for me. For example, like I'm working on like getting my like own apartment and everything like that, and I'm not ashamed to say that because again, that's something that I'm like literally earning. And again, like that's a big part of just like my own personal freedom, which will allow me to invest more time in the project and allow me to just like be able to like have that creative space. So I'm really excited about that. And again, I'm here to earn that, and I'm here to receive that by providing value and by receiving your support in return. So thank you for acknowledging what we're doing here together. There's been a lot of energy and love that's put into this project over the years. And so again, signing up on Patreon is one of the best ways to be able to support. Your support in all forms is equally appreciated. But if you do want to be able to get that additional rewards in return, then go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. Again, you can click either the link. If you're on Instagram, the link in my bio goes to the YouTube, but if you're on my Mystic Spider-Man, if you swipe up, you'll see the Patreon in the stories you can swipe up on. And again, patreon.com/Brendan Carlson, or just send me a direct message. Let me know. All right, so let's hang tight for just the next couple minutes. We still got about like 50 people tuned in, and I appreciate everybody being here. And again, we're not just doing tarot readings, we're like building as a team. So be sure to connect further. And again, you can check out more at paradigmshiftcentral.com as well to be able to explore more of the project and what we've been creating over the years. Awesome. All right, so we're just hanging tight here. If anybody here is looking to sign up for the Patreon and wants to sign up in the near future, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments. Just be like, yo, I'm going to sign up soon. Thank you again to our Patreon supporters. Kaylee, Javier, Shuzazu, thank you so much. It means a lot to be able to have everyone here. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining as well. Sunflower as well. And anybody else. All right, so let's see, team. If we can get one more Patreon sign up in the next couple minutes, then we will do one more reading before I have to do a couple errands, and then I'll be back later today. And if anybody has any questions, just let me know, like about either the Patreon or anything. Well, specifically like the Paradigm Shift Central project or whatever. Hey, Chloe, thanks for tuning in. Sean said, timely and sage like always. Thanks, Sean. Did I already say that one out loud? How is the sound on YouTube? Like, you guys tell me, is the sound like glitching? Because if it is, like, again, please let me know that, because sometimes it's just like a cable issue. And I apologize if it is. I hope it's not. If it's like clicky or something like that, let me know. Please, please, please. Like, the quality is important. Like always. Thanks, Sean. Did I already say that one out loud? I think it's okay. Yeah, it seems to be okay. How is the sound on YouTube? Like, you guys tell me, is the sound like glitching? Because if it is, like, alright, I think it's okay. Alright, okay, so yeah, if I think my mom might be taking the dog out in a second, but I'd love to, I kind of want to take my dog out in a second. So again, if anybody here, you can sign up for the Patreon at any point. And again, signing up onto the Patreon is like an awesome way to be able to get more rewards. Like, look at this fancy Lumerian Light Guardian crystal. Again, it's daytime right now, but in the nighttime you can like see it like shining even more. So all right, so thank you again everyone so much for tuning in. We will be, okay, the sound does sound good. Okay, I thought so. We will be back later tonight, again with the objective of like inviting more Patreon supporters, building the team, and being able to provide awesome value for the community. So we've gotten 1 Patreon supporter sign up for this broadcast. Our objective is 2. So let's see if we can get that second one as soon as possible. And again, just let me know if you would like to be able to sign up for the Patreon at a later date. And again, the link for that is on screen, patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. And thank you again for those of you tuning in. For those of you who may be new to this for the first time, we've been doing some tarot readings, and we're just taking a little bit of an intermission between now and the next Patreon sign up. And cool. All right, thanks Shuzazu. Thanks for dropping in. Cool. All right. Okay, I'll let you guys decide. We got about, I want to give about like just like a couple more minutes to see if we can get a Patreon supporter, because if we can get like 1 more Patreon supporter, we'll do another reading real quick, which again is like more insight and inspiration and just like good practice and value. And again, if you sign up onto the Patreon, you can also choose to get the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck reading. So one or the other. Both are an option when you sign up for the Patreon. And again, we've gotten 1 Patreon sign up so far. And cool. All right. Sweet. Thank you again, everyone. I know we still got about like 50 people tuned in right now, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I'll be back a little bit later tonight. And once we're back later tonight, again, we'll do that first reading right off the start. And then again, the next reading that we do will be with the intention. I'd love to get at least like 4 or 5 new Patreon signups today. Whoops. Okie dokie. All right. If anybody here is eager and ready to sign up for the Patreon or thinking about signing up in the near future, please go ahead, leave a comment down in the chats. Sylvie, just to confirm, we don't answer questions from the chat that are like tarot related questions. So just so you know. But again, if people would like to be able to get the next reading on air, they can do that by signing up to the Patreon. And again, that's at patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. So thank you again, everyone, for adding your support and signing up and being here and supporting the team. We're currently at 148 supporters, working towards our goal of 200 supporters. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, thank you as well. I think this will the feed end soon? Yeah, give or take. All right. Is this video skipping or not? Just making sure I'm replying to comments here. I'm just doing a Facebook thing here. I just want to see if there's like some particular comments that I've somehow missed. All right. Okay, everyone. So again, we've got like 50 people tuned in. I'm totally down to do another reading. And again, we'll do another reading with another new Patreon person signing up. And again, the Patreon is a super awesome website where people can support artists with monthly micro contributions. And you can sign up on my Patreon and get a reading on air, plus all sorts of other cool stuff, such as Lumerian Light Guardian crystals, discounts for the items at the shop, access to me as a private conscious media creation coach, and the option to join as a leading member, which is like, again, like the value of that is like over, again, like $200 a month. And we provide that at like a super affordable option because our objective here is to provide value, build a team, create impact. So again, if we have someone who's ready to sign up for the Patreon in the next couple moments, please let us know in the chat and we will make sure that we wait around for you. Otherwise, if there's no one signed up within the next like 5, maybe 10 minutes, then we'll take a break because again, I have to go do some errands and then I'll be back later tonight. So make sure that you're subscribed on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Awesome. And thank you again, everyone. We've been doing these broadcasts for quite a while, and it's a super awesome way to be able to just like, again, like create like a portal for people to be able to connect. So again, if you're here, then thank you for being here. Like, this isn't just about tarot, this is about building a team. And so if you are looking to connect further with the team, again, connecting with me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man is a great way to be able to do that. And also making sure that you're subscribed. And of course, yeah, signing up to the Patreon. Cool. All right. All right, everyone. Like I said, we're just gonna, if there's no new Patreon sign up in the next couple minutes, then we'll wrap it up, and that's totally okay. Like, no hard feelings. It's totally okay. Again, like when I do this, it's just kind of, it is like this very, like, again, like there's like a lot of intention and a lot of trust too, because sometimes we'll do a broadcast and like there might be like 4 people that might sign up right away, or again, people are listening to this broadcast and they're like, I'm gonna sign up later this week. So again, it's about being able to like build the connections, create the relationship, provide value, plant seeds, and be able to like grow as a team in that sense. So awesome. All right, so again, our most recent Patreon supporter, Mathieu, thank you as well. And let me just double check here. Yeah, and when you sign up on Patreon, you can also get like there's more value that's going to be coming through there in the future, like more things that I'm working on for the leading members. That's going to be like ongoing, and the value of that will just keep increasing. Plus, you can also get access to my 5-gram mushroom trip video, which is like super sacred and like really special. So, all right, for those of you tuned in on Instagram, thanks so much. Hey, Mark, welcome back. All right, okay. Okay, everyone. So again, if there is another Patreon sign up that is ready, please let us know right away. And then we will hang tight for an extra couple moments. Otherwise, we will wrap up this broadcast and we will come back later. And again, when we come back later, be sure to tune in at the beginning and we do the reading right at the start. And then we do additional readings for Patreon supporters as well. So thank you again, everyone. So Tree Hugging Empress, thank you so much. Again, for anybody here, when you sign up onto the Patreon, like, super awesome value. So if you're tuned into this, like, are you someone who is looking to be able to like develop as an entrepreneur, to be able to help even like build your own regenerative income through Patreon, to be able to help create more impact with your videos, to be able to help build community, create connection? When you sign up to my Patreon, like, I support you in doing that. And so when you sign up for that, like, that's like a huge investment for yourself. And I don't mean huge in terms of like cost. It's actually quite minimal, but it's like a big like fuck yes to the universe to be able to say like, yo, I'm investing in myself, and I like want to be able to like learn more and get better at this and have access to the community and be able to like be a part of the team and what we're creating together. So again, by signing up on my Patreon, like, I can help you get clarity on building your Patreon, which can allow you to create regenerative income. So if you're even a tarot reader like me, maybe you've been doing tarot readings like one-off and stuff like that, what if you could like build yours through a Patreon as well? And what if you're like any sort of artist with any kind of value, not even just like an artist per se, but there's so much value that all of us have to offer. And so part of my job is to be able to help like bring that value to the surface with confidence, and to be able to create like a little bit of direction so that you can formulate how to set things up online to be able to invite people to support. All right, so we're going to wrap up this broadcast in 2 minutes. Again, unless there's a new Patreon sign up, and then we'll be back a little bit later. I know there's still like about like 30 or 40 people tuned in. But again, we'll be back later to do more readings. And again, be sure to check out my Patreon at any point to be able to add your support there as well, and to be able to, again, not just support me, but to support the community and support the team. So aloha to Miley, yo, Hunter, again, see you dat. Thank you so much. Heinz, Hop, Sarah, anybody else tuned in? JGC, Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. So again, we're just about to wrap it up here. If we do have another Patreon sign up, literally in the next minute, it only takes like a couple minutes to sign up. We'll do one more reading, but other than that, we will be back later tonight. So, all right. So if you're just tuned into this broadcast and you had a fun time, thank you. Be sure to connect with my Instagram, Mystic Spider-Man, and subscribe on YouTube at Skull Babylon, and drop an 1111 in the chat just to be able to express your gratitude. Even just write any sort of comments expressing your gratitude. And again, inviting you to be able to connect further with what we are creating as a team, inviting you to be able to invest in yourself, invest in the community, and to be able to grow together as a collective. So thank you again to all the Patreon supporters already signed up. Thank you to everyone for tuning into this, wherever you are, whenever you are. Super, super appreciated. And I'm looking forward to being able to do, again, more readings, more inspirational broadcasts, lots of value still coming your way through what we are creating together. So with that said, are you guys okay if I turn it off now? Again, unless somebody's like literally signing up for the Patreon right now, you guys let me know, and then once we've got that confirmed, then we will wrap up this broadcast based on whether or not there's a new Patreon sign up. So, all right. Okie dokie. Again, I feel like there's probably some chats that I'm just not seeing. I don't know if there are people chatting somewhere, because again, there's like 30 people tuned in right now. So if you're somewhere, wherever you are, thank you. Just seeing how many shares this has, because it's probably being like shared in another group. Kaylee, thanks for sharing. Can't even see the other groups where it's shared. Cool. Sweet. Thanks, Sayadat. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, everyone, we're going to wrap this up. I got to go do some errands. Otherwise, again, I would stick around longer. But again, we want to be able to just like honor the time, and definitely accomplished a good amount just being here. And we will be back later tonight to be able to do some more broadcasts before I have to head out to hockey. So again, if you have any questions or you have any questions about the Patreon, be sure to let me know. You can sign up at any point. Add your support there. Help us reach our goal of 200 supporters on Patreon in 2020 as soon as possible. By the end of the month is our objective. And thank you again, everyone, just so much for your support and for being here. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to do this again and to do some more awesome tarot readings and provide some more awesome value, and to be able to help support what it is that we are creating here together and invite more people to be a part of it. So awesome. My name is Brendan. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Again, sign up to that Patreon if you're a big fan of what I do and you want to help me do even more of it and want to be a part of it. Patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. Sign up for $5, $1,000, whatever works for you. It's all equally appreciated. And check out more at ParadigmShiftCentral.com. Connect to our team chat. Send me a message if need be. And yeah, looking forward to being able to help share some more awesome stuff. Sean, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you to everyone. Thank you. Patreon supporters as well. And with that said, we're going to wrap up this broadcast. We'll keep an eye open for new Patreon signups in between now and next broadcast. Again, if you sign up between a broadcast, I'll do a private reading with you as well, which is like even like more valuable in its own way, because then we can chat more about it. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And Mark, we'll see, maybe. All right, wrapping it up. My name is Brendan, aka Wolf Shield, Mystic Spider-Man. As always, keep it shifty. I will see you in the future. Peace, wholeness, much love.